Suppose there is a registered marriage. Today you need a marriage certificate. Okay? When you enter a sale transaction, there is a sale, sale deed. And on the basis of sale deed, I change the khata. Khata is the title. Now what we have done in Bangalore is, the moment you execute the sale deed, automatically the khata changes. Because back end, both the databases are linked to each other. If property number A in Manipal stands in the name of X, and X has sold it to Y, and the registration is complete, automatically the database of the title changes from X to Y. There is no restriction whatsoever. It's possible. It's done in Bangalore. In 43 sub-registers office today, it is done. I'll give one more example maybe after the Q&A, because otherwise we'll be taking away all the time.
So,
yeah, no, I have a question, sorry.
So how difficult is this application of technology in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, wherein there are basic facilities of roads, electricity, water are not proper, they are not like in a proper basis. So how difficult it becomes to apply these concepts of technology for e-governance?
Okay, now I started my address by saying that the first major initiative of e-governance in India was Bhumi. In India, not in Karnataka, Bhumi, where every title of a farmer, mind you, 2 crore farmers in Karnataka, out of 6 crore population, 2 crore farmers who own lands, they had a title, but if they wanted a copy of it or if they wanted a change of khata, they had to pay money to the revenue inspector or the village accountant. And today the system takes care of it. There is no corruption, only because the system takes care of it. So the first major initiative in the most illiterate segment of the population was Bhumi. So there is normally a misconception that you can never have technology in a rural area, more so which is flooded with illiterate farmers who forget about computers. They don't even know what a computer looks like. But today, every farmer, every day, I'm talking of every working day in a year, on an average, 120,000 record of rights are issued in Karnataka. 120,000 every day. Of course, some seasons it is more, I'm talking of average, 120,000. So the farmers are quite game, they are very happy that they pay 5 rupees and get a record of rights over the counter. Some seconds, not even minutes. So Tier 2, Tier 3 is very easy. It's only a question of mindset change.
So I had just 2 queries. One regarding the medical college initiative. What was the mechanism, or let us say the process through which actually it started collapsing? Was it that people started showing that the IT is not working or those kinds of things, or was it more than that? Or some kind of a connivance between people? And the second is, of course, you had said about Aadhaar. Of course, beyond the debate whether it is good or bad, what is the timeline do you see that it should...
For Aadhaar?
Yeah.
Okay. No, see, medical college experiment failed for, there was a convergence of factors. It was not one factor. A series of factors. The director of that medical college got shifted, who was taking a lot of interest. But even the successor had no business to say that the system is not working, because, the robustness of the system was displayed to everybody. Everybody knew that there's a lot of improvement in professional attendance, there's a lot of improvement in marking, quality of marking, there's a lot of improvement in transparency. Everyone had, these yardsticks were very well proved. But, as I said, there was a convergence of factors, the director got shifted, number one, and then there was a similar change in the university, and then in between there were local elections, and one of the election promises made was that the system would be disbanded. That was one of the election promises. Okay, on the contrary, I don't know if you had an occasion to see the manifesto of BJP in the Assam elections. It came in the newspapers in a very big way. The party's election manifesto was, we will introduce e-procurement in Assam. See, that is a positive side of an election, where they use saying that since it has succeeded in Karnataka and subsequently in Andhra and Gujarat, we will now introduce e-procurement in Assam. That was an election manifesto. So they wanted to win elections on that count. I mean, one of the points there. But here, in the union elections and in the elections to the medical association, one of the points was that we will disband the system. Because, as I said, nobody wanted it. The only stakeholder also did not respond. And you said, second, Aadhaar. Okay, sorry. If it is related to Aadhaar, I'll take that.
Other question.
Please.
It's a different question.
Doesn't matter, I'll take both the questions.
So, what are the challenges which usually are faced when implementing a new e-governance system? Like, because in a country like India, people are used to working, especially in government offices, in a very old traditional manner. And now there has been a transition in banking and other sectors, and everywhere e-governance is implemented. So, what are the challenges that you face at initial level?
Oh, I mean, everyone opposes it. But you have to bulldoze
How
yourself.
do you overcome it?
See, you have to bulldoze yourself because, see, this is one sector where we need some dictatorship. I shouldn't be quoted. But without that, it's very difficult. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. How many people in India want Aadhaar? Is somebody craving, I want an Aadhaar? Nobody's craving for it. You know why? It introduces a lot of accountability. The subsidy which I mentioned, lakhs and lakhs of crores of subsidy, will be very well utilized. Your tax burden will come down if you use Aadhaar to the hilt. See, today, when you go to the airport, before you enter the airport, you are supposed to show your identity. Mind you, you need to carry your passport and flood your pocket or flood your handbag or purse. How many credit cards I need to carry? If you look at an average middle class will have about 4 or 5 credit cards, 2 or 3 identity cards, because to go to the airport they require only a government identity card. Okay? Have you ever? I'm sure all of you have a bank account. You know how difficult it is to open a bank account? You know why? You need to get an introducer, right? You can't open a savings bank account without an introducer. Now with Aadhaar, I will only give my fingerprint and get a bank account. Okay, so there is a lot of resistance, but you need to bulldoze. And once you establish your credentials, saying that you have succeeded in, again, addressing the last person in the queue, that is very important. See, it's for me very easy to convince this audience, please adopt technology. All of you will say yes, unless you are a student. Okay, now, that is not the kind of acceptance you will receive across the audience or across the demographic spectrum. Because there are people who have still a lot of reticence, resistance, and apprehensions on use of technology. But we need to bulldoze it. But having introduced technology, and if every stakeholder is happy, you take it from me, you cannot withdraw technology. Okay? Now imagine, suppose I close down all ATMs in Udupi and Manipal. I'm sure there will be a strike tomorrow, right? Because you are used to anytime money. Okay? Automatic teller machines is something that you are used to. 2 o'clock in the morning, you won't get whatever money you want. And suppose they were to close down, there will be a street protest. So once you establish the credentials, things become easy. But there has to be some bulldozing. 1970s, this IBM, All India Bank Employees Association, notorious body, trade union. They were going on strike because computerization was being introduced. Okay, 70s and early 80s. Today, what is it that you see on the board? Every bank. Fully computerized banking. Imagine the change in mindset. In 30 years' time, not that the population has come down, population has increased, joblessness has increased, but acceptability of computers there's a change in mindset. With a lesser population, we said we don't want computerization. With lesser unemployment, we said no computerization. With more unemployment, more population, we have said fully computerized branch. Please come and open an account in my branch. That is a kind of mindset change. So there is resistance, but you need to do it. Sorry, you are. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, going with Aadhaar, don't you think there's a mismatch between the way the ministries or the government level bodies done? Because if you have an Aadhaar card, even though it's government, it's something being issued by the government department. You can't use it for getting a SIM card.
Today's paper, have you seen? Please see today's paper. Yeah. Yesterday's meeting has resolved a lot of issues. You can get a SIM card, you can open a bank account, you can get an LPG cylinder, new gas connection, you can get a vehicle registration done in 2 hours time. All these things are very still now. Today's different. They have only 4 minutes before putting matrix.
You said in the irrigation or water departments also. What did I see?
No, I have not worked in water. But last 25 years I have been only in technology.
Technology.
Yeah, only in technology.
So, on Aadhaar, why should the Aadhaar registrations be only on a time-based period? If you want to cover every citizen, why not you allow people to register as they access the registration centers? Why it has to be only a particular time on a particular.
Suppose I say, okay, I don't know if the question was audible. Why is there a timeline for Aadhaar? That means you should get your Aadhaar before 31st December. Hypothetically, it's not so. Why should you get your Aadhaar before 31st December of a particular year? It should be a continuous process. Now the answer is this. Suppose we come up with a government order. Starting 1st of December 2012, you cannot purchase a car, a scooter, a motorcycle without Aadhaar. Suppose that order is issued, we will be doing injustice to you. Because you don't have Aadhaar, you have not taken Aadhaar, isn't it? But a supply, tell you sufficiently in advance. I can't say, sunrise of tomorrow, you must have Aadhaar. But I must say, 6 months down the line, at least by 31st December, please have Aadhaar. If you don't have Aadhaar, you will not be able to open a bank account. You cannot get a credit card. You will not get a SIM card. If you have a SIM card, the SIM card will be discontinued. I can issue that order, but I must give you sufficient notice. So, unless you have a deadline, how do I bring in all these new measures which are going to reduce corruption and increase transparency? Suppose I say food subsidy will come down from 1,50,000 crores to 25,000 crores next financial year. I must have sufficient leverage, time involved so that everyone gets it. Otherwise, I will be doing injustice. So we need to fix a time limit for this kind of a dispensation. Yeah. Last question, because just have a minute and a half.
So
Yeah.
the system which you think failed in the medical college, do you think it would not have collapsed in an engineering college?
It's a good question, but the only thing is I have not introduced in engineering because today, if you are in Karnataka, how do you get admission to an engineering college? Through CET, isn't it? CET is the mode. Okay. Now, in engineering, in medicine, what is the way in which you get in? Again, it is CET, common entrance test. Okay. Now, the seats in engineering are how many? In Karnataka, it's about 90,000 seats. Medicine, few thousands. See, the problem of corruption is because of supply constraints. So, not that today, a lot of engineering colleges, seats are going up again. But that's not the case with medicine. For every seat, there will be 100 aspirants. In engineering, as I said, about 93 or 94,000 seats that Karnataka has. We were one of the largest producers of engineers. Strictly in terms of numbers, every year 10 to 12,000 seats remain taken. So the supply is always more. So the corruption is when the demand surpasses supply. So that's why, so the corruption is more. For masters in radiology, anesthesia and pediatrics, the capitation fee.
Last I had read about the radiology.
You are a doctor?
I'm a dentist.
Oh, you are a dentist. Then you will know it very well. These three sectors, that is anesthesia, radiology and pediatrics, has the highest capitation fee in the country, not in Karnataka. And among the three, it is in the same order. Pediatrics number 1, radiology number 2 and anesthesia number 3. In India, we have just 30,000 anesthetists. 30,000 for a population of 1.2 billion. And without an anesthetist, you cannot have surgery. So that is the kind of scenario we have. Similarly, a radiologist and similarly pediatrics. Why is it our infant mortality rate so high? Okay, in this part of the world, it's one of the highest in the country in the world. I'm not talking of Africa, but I'm talking of this part of the world. There is no business for us to, entertain that kind of figure. So basically, demand supply. So we can very well do it in engineering also, but the corruption is less compared to medicine.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's for sharp. Thank you very much.
It was indeed an enlightening experience hearing sir's thoughts and experiences on topics like Project Bhumi, advantages of e-procurement, impact of technology in the field of education and medicine, and of course the amazing success stories of e-governance. And I would like to request sir to just present a moment to yes.
Today, this is a special occasion, therefore.
I thought I was part of TAPMI.
On behalf of TAPMI, sir, we thank you for spending your valuable time with us, and it was indeed a great experience listening to you. Thank you again, sir. Please have a big round of applause.